Good morning, all. I'm at Blowing Springs State Park in Arkansas. Late last fall, I came down to Arkansas for the winter to see how I'd like it and see if I wanted to relocate here. And I love it here. There's some good hiking. The weather's nice. There's 4 seasons. It's supposed to be a high of 70 today, so I'm gonna love that. This park, this particular trail, is shared with mountain bikers also. There are only about 4 or 5 cars in the parking lot this morning, and none of them had bike racks. One was a truck, so I don't know that I'll see any bikes today. But it's a series of trails that interconnect, so I think I can go 2 miles or 22 miles, whatever I feel like doing today. So there's supposed to be some great waterfalls and some cool features along the way, so we'll see what it holds. I have to admit, I've kind of been battling cabin fever. I took a road trip to Utah for a wedding, and when I got back the very next morning, I got really sick. I ran a fever of like over 101 for 3 days, and I feel like I've been cooped up for a week, so this is my first day out and looking forward to just breathing fresh air. Well, if truth be told, this back 40 loop is where I thought I was starting. But I hiked a couple of miles just to get here. It looks like I probably could have driven almost all the way here. But that's okay. I got to see some cool things and just exploring, and I'll know next time. So we'll see what the back 40 loop has to offer. I think this is the loop that's 22 miles. So I don't know that I know I won't go that far. And I'll see what I do today and see what it has to offer. Here's the first sign that I might be doing this loop backwards. Oh, it cracks me up, but I'm easily entertained. For the record, I am going clockwise on this loop, but I don't live in the mountain biking world, so I don't know what they do. I guess I'll find out if there's any out here today. So one day about a month ago, I was going to hike this trail, but I couldn't find the trailhead, and I was going to do it right after church. And like I said, I couldn't find the trailhead and got frustrated and thought, oh, I'm just going to go home. And I literally just crossed a road, and the church is right there. I could have just parked in the parking lot and walked over to the trail. Didn't know that. That's good to know in the future. Great way to access the trail, right there. And can be right on the trail, not have to do a connector to it. Live and learn, live and learn. Good morning. Here's a little update. As I was hiking last week on the Back 40 trail, after about 9 miles, I started getting really tired. I don't think I had completely recovered from the cold that I'd had the week before. Came across the Bella Vista Library. I called my daughter and she came and got me and took me back to my car. And I've just rested and relaxed and tried to get well again, completely well. Feeling much better today, and it's a beautiful sunshiny day. So I thought I would come back and finish this trail. I have about 15 miles to do today. If you're wanting to access this trail and do just the 22 miles, if you remember I did like 2 miles as a connector to it, which I don't regret. It was beautiful. You can actually, the Bella Vista Library is a really good place to get on the trail and do the entire loop. Would be a good place to park your car, a safe place if you're wanting to do it in a day. So there's a little tip for you. I think since I'm hiking, it is safer than riding a bike. By the way, there have been quite a few bikers today, and one time the guy in the front, there were 4 of them, yelled, "Walker." And I'm like, I look like a walker, not a hiker. I was trying not to be insulted, but it was hard not to be. Oh. Good afternoon. Getting close to the end. There have been a lot of bikers today, more than I thought since it's a Monday. I've probably seen 15 or so, all very nice and kind, and nobody pushed me off the trail, and that was nice. But it reminded me of something that happened when I was doing a hike in Alaska. I was hiking Johnson Pass, and that one's open to bikes also. And I got a few miles in, and these 3 people on bikes passed me. And then about a mile or 2 later, I passed them because one of their bikes, the chain had come off of it. And so I kept hiking, and soon they passed me again. And then a few miles later, I passed them again because someone had a flat tire and they were changing the flat tire. And so I kept hiking, and pretty soon They passed me again, and a few miles later, I passed them because the chain had come off the bike again. And one of the bikers said, obviously hiking is faster today than riding a bike. I thought it was kind of funny. But they passed me that last time and I never saw them again. I'm sure they finished in a day. I took 2 days and loved every minute of it. So I was just thinking about the hike I just told you about and kind of reminiscing and remembering what it was like. And one of the things is I had a broken hand, but the cast was up past my elbow to begin with. So I was hiking with this huge cast. The other thing that happened that was so cool is at one point I had to walk through this brush that was like up to my shoulders. And when I got to it, was walking through it, all of these butterflies, like thousands of butterflies, came out of those bushes and were just flying all around me. And it just was a wonderful nature memory to see all of those butterflies. It's one of my favorite memories. So I got lured by those sculptures and somehow ended up off the trail and ended up doing a loop called Snowbird Loop, which was really cool. And I didn't do the whole loop because I realized I wasn't on the back 40 anymore. And I looked on the map and found out where I could jump back on the back 40. So back on trail. Made it back to where I started from. So I ended up doing 18 miles today with all the side trails that I took. And so the first day I did 9, today was 18. So that's a total of 27 miles using the routes that I did, which were a little different than just a standard back 40 loop, which is 21 miles, I think, or 21, 22, something like that. I would recommend this trail for people who are wanting to get into hiking and maybe want to practice carrying their backpack. There's so many places to get on and off this trail, and it's kind of rolling, I think mainly because of the bikes, and the bikers are super friendly, and there was no issue with that, and we coexisted and it was great. So really a cool trail and has a lot to offer.